Winnemucca to week number 13, lucky number 13 in the Winnemucca Insiders Football Challenge. And last week, Terry, there was a lot of fours for scores.
Yeah, well, I had a 5, Dave had a 5, you had a 6, so not a ton better, just kind of right there in the middle of the road, 50-50 flip a coin range. We did all agree on Seattle and the Buffalo Bills. Both those teams came in as winners. Seattle was my best bet for the week. Gary took Ohio State for the best bet. They still won the game.
But they were up 21-0. If we don't fumble deep in our own territory, and I told Dave this on Sunday night, I said, let me tell you something. You guys were lucky to score a touchdown at all.
They're 11-0 going into a big game that's going to be on the contest this week. Dave's best bet last week, where did he put it? Oh, down on the Saints, and they just didn't show up.
No.
They could have got beat. I mean, they just didn't look good.
No, there was a couple of shaky games there. I mean, how about the Carolinas place kicker?
You know,
he missed a 28-yard field goal.
I watched the end of that one. You know, that was probably, if he makes it, they probably go to OT because the Saints were going to go down to get their 3 points, and OT could have been something different. They could have scored. They had a couple of shots right there before the missed field goal to get the ball into the end zone, and just an overthrown pass. And anyways, they had that game right where they wanted it, and they let it go. Well,
folks, in case you're wondering where our partner in crime, Davey, is, well, he's on vacation this week, so it's Terry and myself today. But Terry does have Dave's picks, and Terry's going to start us off with our first college game, and it's rivalry week, folks.
Yeah, we got some good games this week. So we've got Auburn playing Alabama. Alabama is going to the number 15 ranked Auburn Tigers. Auburn's is the underdog at home, 4.5 points. Doesn't seem like enough to me. We got a number 5 Alabama going against number 15 Auburn. Auburn's got 3 losses. Alabama's only got the 1 loss to LSU. I think it's a big game. I don't see why Alabama's not a bigger favorite than they are. So I like Alabama. And Dave had phoned in his pick, and he likes Alabama.
Well, we're not going to make it unanimous, folks, and here's why. Alabama is 2-5 against the spread in Auburn, and the home team is 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games. Now, Auburn has a freshman quarterback. The Alabama Crimson Tide's got a redshirt sophomore in there, replacing Tagovailoa. I can't even pronounce that name.
Ty, just call him Ty.
Yeah,
but
T. Anyways, I am going to take the Auburn Tigers. Go War Eagles.
Okay. Next game, a good game in the Big Ten. Here we've got Minnesota at 10-1 going against Wisconsin, who is 9-2 on the season. Interesting, they're the visit. Wisconsin's at Minnesota. They're the number 12 team playing the number 10 team. They're the favorite.
Yep.
So, the point spread doesn't jive with the record or the ranking nationally, but it is what it is. Minnesota hasn't had the toughest competition. They beat Penn State in a good game, came back the next week and lost to Iowa.
Iowa's a good team. They were 8-3.
Yeah, Iowa's good too. So I don't know who's who in this game, but I'm going to take Wisconsin. I think they've got the stronger squad here. Dave did take Minnesota, so we're already split on this one.
Well, I'm going to help prove Dave's case here. Now, in defense for Terry, the road team is 4-0-1 against the spread in this series, and Wisconsin is 15-6 against the spread on the road. But 4-0 is Minnesota against the spread in their last 4 home games, and as an underdog, they're 8-3-1 against the spread in this series. I love Minnesota. I don't think they get any respect nationally.
They are not. I mean,
and they 10-1. I'm assuming Ohio State's going to win out, and
we'll talk about that game next.
And beat Minnesota in the championship game because they're in the championship game. As the winner of this game will be in the championship game. Okay. I think it will be Minnesota, and I think they'll end up going to the Rose Bowl.
Okay. Next game is another Big Ten matchup. We got Michigan at home hosting Ohio State, undefeated, number 2 in the country. 11-0 is their record. Michigan's 9-2, although they've been really good lately. I mean, last week Dave cautioned me against taking them at Indiana, and they rolled right over Indiana. So 8.5 points. It's the lowest spread Ohio State has seen, I believe, all season. They did not cover last week, as you
Should have.
You know, should have, could have, would have, but they didn't. So
Wait a minute, how did your Cougars do?
we won, but we didn't cover.
Okay.
So that's the way it goes sometimes. When we had that game, I don't want to talk about that. 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes in the fourth quarter, given up to.
I
Florida
know it.
State.
What were you guys doing?
They weren't playing football for a while. I don't know.
No kidding.
But they came away with a win, so we're 6-5 going into the
So you're bowl eligible
big
now.
Apple Cup this week. And if we can upset the Huskies, again, we don't play well in that game when we're the favorite. We're the underdog. We're 6.5 point dog to Washington, right where we should be on Friday. Should be a good game.
I'll be watching it.
Okay, so I already know you're Ohio State. Dave called in or texted in Ohio State. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Michigan. They've been playing good lately. They may not win this game, but I think they make this game a close game at home.
Well, let me help you out here, Terry. The underdog in this series is 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 meetings. Michigan's 4-0 against the spread following a straight-up win, which they just had. But here it is, folks. Proof that Ohio State's going to roll. They're 5-2 against the spread in Michigan. They're 9-1 against the spread versus a team with a winning record. Hands down, Ohio State rolls in this game. Probably wins this one by 18.
We'll see.
All right, so that's Terry. No confidence in my Buckeyes.
No, they're good. I would not bet against them. I'm just.
But you are.
For the diversity of the contest, I'm taking Michigan. at home
Okay,
there.
okay. All right, folks, that's going to do it for segment number 1. When we come back, Terry and myself, we're going to cover the first 4 pro games on our contest. Welcome back, folks, to segment number 2 here, as we're going to talk about these first 4 pro games. And we got 2 teams going in way the opposite directions here.
Well, both these teams are going in the wrong direction, in my opinion. The Packers didn't show up last night.
yeah,
they
but
got walloped.
they're 8-3, Terry.
No, they're 8-3, but they've had a couple games that are head scratchers. I mean, the Giants don't have enough to, So, anyways, we got the Packers going to the New York Giants. Packers 8-3 on the season. Giants 2-9. Their season was over a long time ago. They are at home. They're getting 6.5 points. Dave is already in on the Packers. I just don't know. I mean, after last night's game, surely they got to come back and play better after that.
Well, let me see if I can't help
somewhat of an
sway your
embarrassment last
decision.
night.
I already have my decision made.
Okay.
The Packers, folks, are 1-4-1 against their spread in their last 6 meetings against the Giants. Not good. And the Giants, the home team, is 3-0-1 against the spread. So all the conventional numbers say take the Giants. No way. You take the best quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, folks. I'm all over the Packers.
If they can pressure him like San Francisco did last night.
Oh, they can't.
Who knows? Who knows? I have a hard time going against them as well. Even though 6.5 on the road's a lot after the performance. No, they cost me money last night. I'm going with the Giants.
Wait a minute. I think, folks, that Terry, Dave, and I both won our games that we were all 3 on last week.
We did. Yes.
So, outstanding by us. But you decided not to go with us.
I'm still hurt from last night. I cannot go on those guys. We're going to talk about another game today, too, that hurt me yesterday. The Raiders didn't show up for a football contest.
No.
But next game, we got the 49ers going to the Ravens. This is going to be a good game. The Ravens play tonight, so we don't know. They're 8-2 now. Do they beat the Rams tonight to go to 9-2? 49ers 10-1 with a good win last night over the Ravens. The Ravens are a 4.5 point favorite at home. Dave's already in on the Ravens.
Oh, he is. Well, Dave, that's probably a good pick because the home team is 5-1 against the spread in this series. The 49ers are only 3-7 against the spread following against the spread win, which that happened yesterday for the 49ers. But the 49ers are looking for a home field advantage throughout, so they got to keep winning. And the Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson, has not had any defense like the 49ers defense. I'm going to take the Niners on the road, getting 4.5. I think they're going to win the game outright.
It seems like a value to get 4.5 on the road. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to take the Ravens. I don't see anybody slowing down Lamar Jackson. He's played against some good defenses and he has just looked outstanding all the way along. I think you'll see that again tonight. This spread could change between now and Sunday, depending on tonight's
No, that's
outcome.
true.
So Gary's on the Niners. Dave and I are on the Ravens at home. Don't really like the 4.5, but I think they win this game, and I'm on the other side of that. I need the 49ers to lose a game or two to go down the stretch, so that opens it up for the Seahawks.
Well,
to
you
have
got
home
the
field
Seahawks,
advantage.
you got the Packers, you got the 49ers, all those three teams, and the Vikings.
Vikings are
4
8-3.
teams fighting for that number 1 seed. So everybody's in must-win situations.
Okay, next game you got two teams, both 6-5. Titans are playing at the Colts. Colts are a 3.5-point favorite at home. Just don't have a strong feel on this game. Dave is in on the Titans early. That 3.5 number seems to be bad for me. If I take the favorite 3.5, I lose.
I have to tell you, folks, I've lost all season long on the hook on 3.5. For some dang on reason, I've lost. But here's the thing. The favorite is 5-1 against the spread in this series, which that's the Colts. And the Titans, well, they're 1-7 against the spread in the last 8 meetings against the Colts. But that being said, Tannehill has this team moving in the right direction. I love the Titans in this game. So I'm going to take Tennessee, baby.
And Dave was already in on Tennessee. And I'm really on the fence here, but I'm going to go ahead and take the home favorite here. I'm taking the Colts to win at home.
Terry must not want to win our contest.
Well, no, I need to make up some ground on you guys, so I gotta pick my battles here, and that's a possibility. Next game is kind of like the first game in this segment. We got the Raiders going to the Chiefs, and boy, the Raiders just stunk it up yesterday.
They were horrendous.
You know, they're going to the Chiefs, who are a 9.5-point favorite. Chiefs are 7-4 on the season. Raiders are 6-5. 9.5 is a big spread, and it wouldn't be that way if it wasn't for the letdown that they had yesterday.
Oh, they got slaughtered.
So, you know, which Raider team's going to show up, which Chief team's going to show up, I just don't know. I think this is a toss-up here. Just like I couldn't bring myself to put my name next to the Packers, I have a hard time putting it on the Raiders, but at 9.5,
Well, let me
okay.
see if
Dave's
I
already
can't-
in on the Raiders.
Okay, the home team, which is the Chiefs in this situation, they're 5-1 against the spread. The Raiders, well, unfortunately, they're 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games in Kansas City. Not a good sign, but the Raiders are just 1 game behind the Chiefs for first place in that division. Therefore, I think that they're going to play hard. I like the Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders plus the 9.5. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the game outright.
Okay, so we're all on the same side here. I'm going to take the Raiders as well, just because of the 9.5.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a good move.
Because the Chiefs really, they came out, I think they won 4 in a row, 5 in a row, and they've struggled since then. So their team, I'm not sure which way they're going. And you're right, the Chiefs are 7-4 atop of that division. Raiders win this one, they're on top
tied.
of the division.
Exactly.
So with a win, they go to the top.
All right, folks, that's going to end it for segment number 2. When we come back, Terry and I, plus Dave, has already given Terry his best pick of the week. We will give you those best picks. Welcome back, folks, to segment number 3 here. And
So
I told you that the Cardinals stink. Well, so does my Bengals.
They've had a lot of, the Bengals really suck. But the Cardinals have had a bunch of tough games where they could have won the game and they lose it late. They had the 49ers beat last week on Thursday, and they lost it late. They played a tough game against the Seahawks. They've been in most of the games that they've lost. Even though they're 3-7-1, they came out with a tie in that first game against the Lions. They're better than that record indicates. Rams are a 4.5-point favorite going to Arizona. Dave's already in on the Cardinals.
Oh, he is?
I'd love to see the outcome of tonight's game before I had to make this choice, but since we're doing this on Monday, we got to make the choice today. I think the Rams are going to have a tough time tonight with the Ravens, but regardless of that, I'm taking the Rams next week.
Okay, and let me help you with that decision because I too like that. The Rams are 4-0 against the spread in Arizona. The road team is 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 meetings. I don't have any stats for the Cardinals. Why? Because they're PU. So I'm taking the Rams.
Okay. These stats, I don't know, we should keep track of it. I know last week your stats had the Dolphins being a 10.5-point favorite.
We were right there, too. I was
well,
watching that. We were down 7 at one point. I think, gosh, and
They
then
had a
they
chance
give
to
up
come
a
back.
field goal and a touchdown.
Anyways, the strongest stats in the world told us to take the Dolphins last week. It didn't work out, so
No.
they still play the game. Okay, so we are on the Chargers-Broncos game. Chargers 4-7. Broncos 3-8. Both teams pretty much out of, they're
Yep.
out. They're done for the season. They're playing just for pride. Chargers are 1.5-point favorite at the Broncos. Dave's already in on the Broncos.
Brandon Allen did not look good for the Broncos yesterday. I'm sorry, did not look good. The underdog in this series is 3-1-1 against the spread. That would be the Broncos, but it's only 1.5. And the Chargers are 9-2-5 against the spread in Denver. I'm going to take the better quarterback. It's Phillip Rivers, even though he's a whiner.
When he plays good, he plays good. But when he doesn't,
he stinks it up.
He's either a MVP type quarterback, or he looks like he just came off the bench for the first time.
Right, I agree with you.
I'm going to take the Chargers as well. I just don't think the Broncos have that much. But who knows? These NFL games have really been tough to pick for me this year, as by my score being less than 500 in the contest so far.
Oh, but by the way, who's leading in the play contest?
You're leading. So you don't need to gloat. Okay.
No reason to gloat. Of course there is.
Last game, we've got the Browns going to the Steelers. Browns had a good win. Well, they beat the Dolphins yesterday, but
they played good.
Big offense. Steelers 6-5, hosting the Browns, who are 5-6. Oddly enough, the Browns went from being the underdog to the favorite, so they're actually favored by 1 point.
Because the Steelers benched Mason Rudolph for the other kid. The other kid came in and threw a touchdown pass. The Steelers beat my Bengals. It was just heartbreaking. The Browns are 4-1-1 against the spread in the last 6 meetings, but the home team is 4-1-1 against the spread. I just think the Browns are too hot right now.
They're playing good right now, and that was Dave's thing. He actually made them his best bet for the week.
He did? I don't know about that, but I do like the Browns to win.
They beat the Steelers in this game. If they can win this game, they go to 6-6. Steelers go to 6-6. They're both still 2 games, maybe even 3 games behind the Ravens. Either one of them, they're playing to stay alive in the wild card race. They're not going to win that division.
So Dave went with the Browns, huh?
He did, and you're going with the Browns.
No, well, I'm going with the Browns, but Dave went with the Browns as his best bet,
That's
too?
That's his best bet of the week, too. So I had the strong support there. I'm actually going to take that one as well. So now we're all 3 on the Raiders and the Browns, 2 road teams.
All right, well, we'll see
what
happens.
I'm ready for your best bet.
This is going to be no surprise.
Ohio State.
Ohio State, baby. I hate Michigan with a passion. We're going to just clobber them this week. We're going to make Jim Harbaugh have to answer to the press why he can't beat the Buckeyes for the 6th year in a row.
Yeah, that could be. I think I'm going to go to college as well. I actually like the Ravens to beat the 49ers. The Ravens they lost a couple games early in the season. They just look like they're on a tear, beating the New England Patriots. They look like the other team to beat in the AFC. But I like Alabama. So in the college ranks, how often do you see Alabama only laying 4.5 points?
Not often. That's for sure.
There it is.
All right, folks. Hey, we've been having some spectacular Monday nights down here. Continue to come down, folks. We got great giveaways. We're having a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody that's coming down. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting us.
And next Monday, we've got a good game. We got the Vikings at the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. We have some Vikings fans in town here, I know, and we have a ton of Seahawks fans in town.
Seattle's schedule going down the stretch is tough, and that's an example of the game. So Vikings 8-3, Seahawks are now 9-2. Seahawks are getting the 3-point nod for being at home, but that should be that's not going to be an easy game for the Seahawks.
And one other thing, folks. For Terry, Dave, myself, we want to wish everybody in Winnemucca a happy Thanksgiving. And reminder, we have your Thanksgiving feast right here at the Winnemucca Inn. So if you don't feel like cooking and cleaning up dishes, come on down here. Chef Anton has it all laid out for you. You don't have to worry about a thing.
Boy, as I'm circling this, I got way too many away teams.
Oh, now you just realize that.
That's a decent balance. I got 3 on the top right.
Actually, I have a lot of away teams now that you say that. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 away teams. That can't be good. All right, folks, for our buddy Dave who's not here, for Terry, I'm Gary. Goodbye, everybody.